Jurassic Park: The Lost World. It's a 1997 action thriller directed by Steven Spielberg and stars Jeff Goldblum, Julianne Moore, uh, Pete Pestopoulos, and Vince Vaughn. So this movie is a direct sequel to Jurassic Park. It takes place 3 years later, and that's like continuity in the movie. It takes place 3 years later. So they go to Site B, strictly on a nature preserve, just documenting these dinosaurs in the wild. So John Hammond wants to get a small team and just kind of document how these animals are in the wild. And so Ingen was taken away from him because of, Jurassic Park and how all the people died on it. So he doesn't own it anymore. And he asked Ian to lead the team. And Ian's like, no, you fucking stupid. I ain't gonna do that shit. And he leaves and, so Hammond goes, she came to me. And Ian's like, what do you mean she? Who's she? You didn't ask Sarah, did you? And so you find out that, like, his girlfriend, played by Julianne Moore, went to the island all by herself. So then he's like, okay, it's not a research journey anymore, it's a rescue mission. So he goes there simply for the fact to get Julianne Moore back. And then you find out there's another team, an engine team there, that's strip mining the place to get a bunch of dinosaurs and take them to a zoo in San Diego. And so every Jurassic Park movie, every single one has a kid. Okay, you gotta have that dynamic. And you get to meet Kelly, which is one of, I'm gonna assume, Ian's youngest kid. And they don't really talk about the other two. And the first one, he says he has three, so she's gotta be the youngest one, is my guess. It's kind of a rocky relationship, but he just truly loves her. But she sneaks in, and so she's on, Site B with everybody. And so you got, once again, two teams of characters. So my favorite character in this movie, my second favorite character besides Ian Malcolm, Roland Temper. This guy, who's played by, I can't pronounce his last name, but like, Pete Postasalans or whatever. He's a character actor. He's been so much. He's, he was Kaiser Soze's lawyer in Usual Suspects. He's the dad in the Clash of the Titans remake. He's the priest in Romeo and Juliet, the Leonardo DiCaprio one. So this guy is just fucking everywhere. And he is just so good in this movie. He is just so good. So he's this big game hunter, and the main guy, or the main rival, hires him to lead the expedition. So he has this awesome line where he goes, "Keep your fee. I want to hunt the T-Rex. That's my price. I get to hunt the T-Rex using whatever method I want. And then you can keep your fee, and I'll help run this journey." So, Nick Van Owen, played by Vince Vaughn. So, Ian Malcolm's team sabotages all their shit. They let all dinosaurs out. They destroy all their communication equipment, most of their vehicles, everything. And Nick sees that Roland was using a T-Rex as bait, so he saves the T-Rex. And then it brings the T-Rexes to them, and they destroy everything. And they kill one of Ian's team, which is sad. Played by, I don't know who's played by, but he's Eddie Carr. So Eddie dies, but not before he puts Kelly in the hide. If you want to hide, you can go hide. Hide. And, this is probably my favorite scene of the movie, with my favorite musical score. So John Williams was saying in an interview that he purposely made the score different to have more of a fast-paced action thriller vibe. And so, you got the main the dun 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 dun, like that main beat to it, but mixed with a little harder edge. And so when our characters are at their lowest, Ian is, they're on the RV, the T Rex kicks it off. Eddie just had enough time to throw a landmine down. So the three characters are hanging on, they're climbing up, and Ian gets to the top and he looks up and he's waiting for like a few seconds, and then you see a hand come into frame. And he grabs the hand and he gets pulled up, and it's Roland. Roland's there, and he helps save him. And then you see Kelly running into frame like that. So like Roland and Deeker. Deeker is played by fucking Peter Stormare, who is awesome in this movie. Like two heavyweight character actors leading this platoon of like fucking mercenaries. Like awesome. And so, like, just the musical thing that happens, like, our characters are at their lowest and suddenly they're at their highest, is amazing. And just of how, like, once again, Michael Crichton's kind of hitting, and Spielberg are hitting on the head that, like, these animals, especially in this one, are working together to, like, fucking eat people. And that are just living together, like, in harmony, but on instinct. So these two rival teams have to work together to get off the island. And Roland has these great lines in this scene when he's talking to Nick Van Owen he's like, I came here to live. Which he has this whole monologue about like Mount Everest, and he's like, the second greatest mammal has to take down the king of the hunters. It's so good. And how he completely understands that Kelly's part of their group, and so he has to, like, he cares about Kelly, like Roland cares about Kelly. Like, he has this great scene where he has to find one of the team that got lost, that he finds her dead body, and he has this scene where he's talking to Ian where he goes, well, yeah, we found him. What, the dinosaurs and eat of them? Nobody tells the little girl. So every time I rewatch this movie, I love this movie as much as the first one. I love the first one more, but this one is a solid sequel with fantastic editing, music, camera work, fantastic one takes, and it's a movie that just keeps on fucking building and building and building and building. And it's amazing. And so, every time I rewatch a scene I would like to see, which it's not a deleted scene, which I would like it to be a deleted scene, just for, like, the conversation I think would be fascinating, which is, so, like, Roland getting Kelly out of the high hide. I would kind of like to see that. Like, it would take away from the emotional impact of Roland saving, or, like, saving them, or helping them up. So it would take away from that, but, it's just a conversation I'd be interested to, like, see how it would play out. And, yeah, that also plays to his character, because, he finds this fucking girl in this high hide, but he, like, without hesitation, takes her with the group. Like, I think that adds to his character. So, like, the last 30 minutes, the T-Rex gets loose in New York or Chicago or whatever. No, it's San Diego. So it gets loose there and it's just running amok eating people. And that's just a fantastic scene. And this is another one that I give a solid 5 out of 5.